All right, Citywide Gardens family, today is Saturday, January 3rd, and today is actually canning the beans day. I washed them, rinsed them, soaked them, and didn't get to them yesterday, so they stayed soaked until today. And I rinsed them out of the container they were in with clean water, then added them to my jars. So I have 3 Great Northern, 3 light red kidney, and 3 black beans. And I had a little of each left over, so I just made a mixed jar of beans, and I'll use that for chili or something to that effect. And then I knew I had room in my canner, and I wanted to do lentils anyway, so I did lentils, spinach, carrots. I have some canned diced tomatoes. And then I had a container of veggie broth that I put in a small can of half a can of tomato paste into the pot to warm it up. It's room temperature at this point. I just wanted everything to meld together. I had some of my garlic in my avocado oil chopped up in the fridge. And then I had some baby carrots I cut up and put in each one. A little bit of Italian seasoning, pepper in the broth, in the pot with the broth that I made. And then added the broth on top of all the veggies and the red lentils that I have in there. So now you have to use something non-metal and go in, and this is called debubbling, because if you have bubbles in there and it tries to pressurize, it could crack your jars. You just stick it down, move it around, make sure you don't get any bubbles that are trapped in the beans. And these are a little bit on the low side. They need to be to this line here, so I'm just going to add some plain water. It's not going to hurt them. Plenty of broth, plenty of seasonings. So we will be good to go. Then I will add them to my canner. I've already put 3 quarts of water in here. I'll put a layer of jars, however many fit. Then I have a second layer. I can put that on top of the jars and add a second layer. I can only do that with this canner because it's taller than most. So I can do 2 layers of these pint-sized jars. I do have quart jars, but I wanted to do the beans and the soup in pint jars. And I will show you as the process goes. Okay, I'm able to fit 10 pints in the bottom. Now I'm going to take this, add it to here. And then I'm going to take my jars from here. So I have a total of 15 jars, 10 are beans, 9 are beans, and 6 are lentil soup. And I also added kale in here, and kale is one of the things I got from the food pantry recently. So another way to use stuff from the food pantry to make better food for my household. So now I'm going to turn everything on, get it up to the pressure. If you want to know about pressure canning, you can research it if I could talk today. Find all the information you need for your specific area, because the amount of pressure that's on this gauge depends on your altitude, where you are in the country. If you're in the mountains, it's going to be a certain number. If you're down by an ocean at sea level, it's going to be a different type of pressure. For where I'm at, mine is 11 pounds of pressure. Now my cans are in the pressure canner. I'm only supposed to be 11 pounds of pressure. That's what the numbers represent. But I'm over 15. I turned it down a little bit. As long as you don't go under the 11, which is for my altitude, then you're fine. If you did ever go under the time for your altitude, you would literally have to start the timer over at 0 and count down again. But as long as it's not under your pressure, you're okay. You see where it says caution? Yeah, you don't want to go that way either. But I turned it down, so hopefully it'll come down a little bit. I still have about 50 minutes. Since I have pints, I do them for 75 minutes. So it's only been there for a little bit. I had put the jars in with the water as I showed you. Then you put the lid on, turn it on, but you don't put this on yet. It had to have a stream of steam for 10 minutes. And you time that. Once you see it as a steady stream, you time it. Do the 10 minutes, and then you put the weight on. And then it goes up to the pressure. Mine is 11 pounds. And then you start your time once it gets there. So I started it about 25 minutes ago. Now we just have to wait for the timer, and then you turn it off. Do not take off the weight. Just walk away until it goes all the way back down to 0. Take the weight off. Wait some more time. Usually 15 minutes or so. Depends on what I'm doing. If I don't have anything to do, I'll just leave it. And then it'll go until I'm ready to deal with it. This pen will have to go down. And this one will have to go flat also before you can even open the lid. It's locked around under the edges. When you close it, it locks. So once they come out, I will show you. These are the beans now that they're out of the pressure canner. Yes, they are still hot. They are still bubbling. That's how hot they are. You can see the bubbles. As they cool, this is what they start to do. They start to bubble. But you can see the kale, little piece of garlic, the tomatoes, and the carrots there. And this is the lentils, black beans, light red kidney beans. This was a mix of all three: Great Northern beans, kidney beans, and black beans into this one jar, because I had a little bit left over, not enough to make one jar of each. So I just made a combo jar. Now they will sit for 24 hours. Then you will take off the rings. These should be stable. I will wipe them off, wash off the jars, wash off the lids, and write the date and what's in them. And then over the next however many months, we will eat these in meals. Chili, white bean chili, sweet potato, black bean. Oh, so many things you can make with beans. Enjoy.